Good morning, Montgomery County. Morning's Lone Star. IRLoneStar.com. Montgomery County's morning radio show. This is Dick, hanging out with Skippy.
Morning.
And, excited. It is Thursday, the 13th.
September 13th. Never forget.
Never forget.
On this date in 1999, the moon broke free from the gravitational pull of the Earth and hurtled into space, eventually going through a black hole and leaving the inhabitants of Moonbase Alpha floundering through the far reaches of space.
So that's why we're playing this song?
Yes, we are. When I was a kid,
we're gonna have to.
This show was in the
we're gonna have
60s.
to screen every song now.
I told
thought
you.
that was like a legitimate this day in history kind of thing.
I told you the moon broke away from the Earth. Yeah,
So-
you didn't see Space 1999.
What do you think? Do you think?
You're a nerd. You do a visual entertainment show here on Lone Star.
But the show came out in 1975.
So,
I don't think my oldest brother was born yet.
you know, they have DVDs. They have reruns.
And DVDs, that's such an old.
No,
that's such an old person thing. DVDs. I mean, come on.
We had it on VHS and I had it on Betamax. No, it had Martin Landau, who, ended up winning an Oscar. Thank you very much. His wife at the time, Barbara Bain. And they were the heads of this, organization on the moon. And this atomic explosion happened and knocked the moon out of orbit. And so it's them trying to deal with survival in space. Barry Morse was in it.
I mean, I'll check it out.
Shell, yeah.
I'll check it out.
Great show.
Cool.
Had some good episodes.
So let's do our little morning intro. So you're listening to Mornings of Lone Star. We're going to be here till 11 o'clock today on Facebook Live and, of course, worldwide at IRLoneStar.com and locally on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. So always feel free to let us know what's going on in your head because we're on Facebook Live. So just make sure to comment that.
There you go.
Outside of that, our special guest today, we're got the folks from the Emergency Preparedness Fair, which is happening Tuesday, September 18th here in Conroe, over there at the Conroe Activity Center. We're going to have some reps from there talking about that upcoming event. Stay smart. Be prepared. And I mean, that's like one of the easiest programs we'd like to promote. Like, don't be an idiot. Yeah. But, so we have them.
I would like that to be an actual
don't be an idiot.
Disaster preparation.
Well, it's all about getting through the fog and making sure people understand what to do. And that's how you do. You call them idiots. That's how you motivate people. You didn't know that?
Well, that's how you can, just call them all into one. You have turn around, don't drown, a.k.a. don't be a stupid idiot. Hunker down or don't be a stupid idiot. It could all just get culled down to don't be a stupid idiot.
Yeah. Well, isn't stupid idiot?
Go with that. Go with that. Let that thought continue. You're on a good.
What's the grammar word for that?
A redundancy.
Yes.
Because there are very few smart idiots out there.
Okay.
Well done. I'm rubbing off on you.
Well, my mother tries to correct me every time I do anything wrong. So.
Am I as bad as your mom?
No, because she immediately just corrects me. She doesn't lead me to the water. She's just like, no, here's some water. This is what you did wrong.
Sploosh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. She splooshes you with the water.
But yeah, so outside of those folks coming in at 10 o'clock, we're going to have our reoccurring person who's running for county judge. Jay Silberg will be in the studio.
Mm-hmm.
Very excited. We left off a good comment last time he was in, so hopefully we'll learn more about the water problem we've been facing, or people have been telling me we've been facing. I don't really know. I've seen a couple bills. Like, I've seen my bill, but then again, it's just Holly and I, and we don't really water the yard as much as, I imagine an average household does, because our yard's pretty small.
It goes beyond.
So,
I mean, yeah.
I don't really know if they're. We're going to learn all about it, I hope.
Yeah, the cost of your bills are but one aspect of the issues going on in the water news here.
I hope we learn about it, so that's what we're going to be doing. And, so it's a very exciting kind of full day. We don't have any guests tomorrow so far, so if you know anybody that wants to stop by tomorrow, let us know, mwls@irlonestar.com or Facebook message us. We're actually looking for more guests for the rest of the month because we got October. For some reason, this is one of the, I guess it's part of being a bigger show every week. Like we're getting more and more people checking us out.
Mhm.
But when people come on, they're like, "Oh, I'll come on in 2 months," and I'm like, "Man, how do we get people on today?"
Do we scare them, do you think?
I
Do
don't
they
know.
feel,
Well-
are we so advanced that they feel they need to prepare for us?
I don't know.
I doubt it.
I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, so that's what's going on, and today's gonna be a good day. So today's show, obviously, is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, Conroe Coffee, and Jay Stillberg for County Judge. Outside that, there we go.
We got some weather and traffic going on here.
Well, the traffic's fine.
Is traffic fine?
I don't know. I'm just
Right now, weather's fine. It's kind of maybe the calm before the storm. It's currently 74 degrees.
nice.
Actually, in Conroe, 76. It's moved up a couple of degrees. High
Okay.
today, only 85. It's going to go up another 9 degrees. About 2 o'clock in the Conroe area. Expect about 60% chance of storms that are going to increase for the next few hours, but going away right around sunset at 7:28 p.m. Got storms off and on all weekend long. But Monday and Tuesday of next week looks like we can get a respite. Highs going back into the 90s, low 90s instead of the 80s. But then more storms next week. That's locally. And of course, everyone keep tuned in about Florence. Flo heading into the Carolinas there. It's been downgraded. Right now it's at a Category 2, which is still, formidable, but beats the pants off a Category 4 or 5. Or if you were
Beats the pants off of it, folks.
or if you were a Sci-Fi Channel show, Category 6.
All right. Let's do a couple news breaks and things, little announcements. If you have announcements that you need us to say, we're starting to organize that. And I have 2 things in front of me. If you don't remember, we had Questco in a while back, and they were talking about their 6th annual Heroes Luncheon supporting all those first responders over by 2854. And they're inviting all first responders free of charge. They want you to come get some barbecue. There's a raffle, there's music, and all that kind of stuff. That's happening today, folks. So if you're a first responder or you know a first responder, send that person a text and say, hey, man, you need to get over to the 6th Annual Heroes Luncheon over off 2854 at Questco. Or you can just look up Questco Conroe, and I think they're holding it at their office.
Cool. Spell out Questco so people
It's Quest CO.
like Johnny Quest.
Like Johnny Quest CO, and the location is, like I said, it's on 2054. It's at 100 Commercial Circle, Building B. All first responders, free food. So I mean, I'm pretty sure that's everyone's like, all right, yeah, we get it, right? Another announcement: the CDAA Conroe Downtown Area Association is looking for cook-off teams. They're filling out the rest of their cook-off teams on October 6th. There's the Main Street Steak and Chili Cook-Off, basically chili and steak. So that's happening in downtown Conroe on October 6th. They're trying to fill out the rest of the cook-off teams. So if you're interested in the cook-off teams, visit ConroeDowntownAreaAssociation.com or contact Ron Sikowski at 713-252-3229. If you want that information, again, just message on Facebook and I'll send it to you. But yeah, that's gonna be fun. They invited us. They invited us, right, to this?
Yeah, they did. I hope so, because maybe we'll go.
Maybe it's a party, and it's Thursday, right?
Is there a bad time to have a party?
I don't know. I'm just curious. But yeah, and we're on Facebook. I'm reading right now. Apparently, it's somebody's birthday. We gotta say happy birthday to somebody.
It's just many people's birthdays.
We don't do that right now, though, Misty. We'll wait till we do that. Okay.
You gotta want it.
Yeah.
You gotta want it.
You gotta. No.
You want us to do
as
it?
Tom Hanks would say it. Earn it.
Earn this.
Earn this. Sorry,
Earn
man.
it.
I always mess up that line.
Well, he says both. You gotta write it. Earn this. Earn it.
And then somehow they got Matt Damon's grandfather to play his older self.
Was that his
And-
grandfather?
I have no idea. But it
Oh,
looked
I was
like
about to say, it wouldn't surprise me.
Well, we got to take our first break. It is 9:11 right now.
We're gonna go make sure the moon's still in orbit.
Yeah, and don't forget, we got the emergency preparedness folks coming in a little bit, but we got one more segment, so feel free to give us a topic or whatever. We'll be right back. You're listening to Mornings with Lone Star.
My name is Jay Stittelberg. I'm an Iraq War veteran, Naval Academy graduate, certified project management professional, and I'm running for county judge in Montgomery County. We should have a budget and a strategic plan that reflect the priorities in our county: public safety, flood mitigation, mobility and infrastructure. I will build trust in our county government through transparency and accountability, representing every resident in Montgomery County. I'm Jay Stittleberg, and I'm ready to work for you.
Clean Sweep Office Cleaning has been Montgomery County's business cleaning service since 2002, offering professional office cleaning in areas such as restroom, stairwells, elevator, floor care, pretty much every angle of your office. One-time cleaning is available, but you will want these guys back. Offering daily, weekly, monthly scheduled cleanings, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning works around your business needs. Schedule a cleaning today online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or call 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Between the Crichton Theater and the Owen Theater, Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with tasty treats and Italy's favorite coffee. Have your favorite coffee or just have a midday snack be personally delivered to you at any location in downtown Conroe. All you have to do is call 936-CONROE-C or 936-266-7632.
We'd like to thank our sponsor at Conroe Coffee for supporting Mornings with Lone Star and Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget to check them out online at conroecoffee.com.
Welcome back, Mornings Lone Star, Facebook Live, Lone Star Community Radio, Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1111, and IRLoneStar.com. Feel free to message us on Facebook. Don't forget, we got our friends from the Emergency Preparedness Fair coming in. And, yeah, so that's exciting. That's going to come up here in about 10 minutes or so. And, yeah, so we got a segment here we can kind of talk about. And I know we were chatting about local news.
Okay.
And a lot of people have been getting arrested for really bad things.
Yeah.
And so I have a question. And a lot of the bad things these days, like the Harvey Weinstein tapes are being released. Finally, I was saying that when this first happened, and, it spanned like a 30-year career of him being a horrible person. It's like, there's got to be something.
Mm-hmm.
There's got to be something. And a video was released. But I wanted to ask you, because you know a lot more about the actual, hammer to the gavel thingy, like, going to
gavel banging.
Yeah, gavel banging part of accusations and things. Do you think with all this emotion and outcry, do you think the law is going to evolve on these specific cases? Like, for example, what's his name? Kevin Spacey, clearly he's been publicly shamed, but he's never going to be, in front of a jury. He might be, maybe, if somebody...
If there is a count of a crime that...
But it happened so long ago.
Well, that's the thing. There's a statute of limitations for a reason, and that's you got to have a ticking clock in the American judicial system. You can't have it to where, okay, this happened to me when I was 3 years old. Now when I'm 98.
So we know that. So do you see the law changing down the road? Not tomorrow. I'm thinking 50 years from now, do you think they're going to have a lot more leniency on certain things if there is proof? So, for example, don't explain it, can't explain it. We have video proof of this happening, but for some reason I chose to keep it quiet for 20 years.
So the statute of limitations is 20 years, and on 21 years I released the tape. There could actually be legal recourses in place for that. If you're holding on to evidence of a crime, then you can be charged for conspiracy.
I'm so traumatic. It was such a traumatic event.
Oh, if you're the victim.
I'm the victim.
Oh,
and
I see.
I'm like, I really don't want to talk about it. I don't want to know about it. But then a resurgence of confidence from the public is like, you need to come out with it. You need to speak about it. I'm like, okay. See, because I see a lot of people are going to be really pissed off because I would say the headhunters, Kevin Spacey's and the world were like, people want to see justice done to these people, but I don't think there will be right now.
If the counts they're accused of happen outside of the statute of limitations, then from a judicial point of view, no. Okay. Now, don't forget there are also different standards between
there's civil suits,
civil and criminal.
But I'm talking like jail time. I'm not. I meant more of like the public view of like this is how justice is done. But I have this sneaky feeling that might change the way the courts will work. And like again, not tomorrow, like 100 years from now, I can see it being very victim heavy assurance. Like if you're a victim, they have a really great way to get this guy or girl.
The law is always evolving, which is why we have a Supreme Court, and they can revisit issues. And think about my thought was we today we questioned, well, what do the framers mean by cruel and unusual punishment? Well, here's the thing: back when those were written, you could tar and feather people. So it's like, okay, then that meant that they didn't feel tar and feathering was cruel and unusual, so let's tar and feather people. Of course, I'm being half facetious.
Well, I always feel it's weird that you base it off something so you can get away with whatever you already want to do. Like you are,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you go. I mean, like, I guess there are consequences in the world. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm waving at a nice lady outside my window who's going to be walking in here in just a couple of minutes.
Okay. All right.
Yes,
Distracted
Miss
me.
Victoria was
Okay,
waving
great.
at me.
But no, I feel.
She's winking at me, too.
People are gonna want to do those things regardless, and they don't need. They don't. I mean, because like for example, we were watching this thing about the death penalty in the United States and how now it's becoming an issue because we only get certain drugs for issuing the death penalty from other countries who now are refusing to release those drugs.
Okay,
And so the states are trying to figure out a way to get around it.
that bullet works just as well in my book.
Well, I know that. So that's what I'm saying. Like, how did we get this? How do we get this complicated about ending a person's life? And when it came down to the specifics of what kind of drugs we can use and what's the process.
You mean like someone on death row? Why do they swab his arm with alcohol before they put the needle in?
Yeah.
Well, that is in case this is last minute reprieve. I mean, there are protocols. Now, I am all for the death penalty, and I know that does make me popular with a lot of people. However, it should not be taken lightly. I don't say, hey, hang them all up and let God sort it out. I think the standards for a death penalty case need to be increased even higher, especially in this day of DNA and better technology.
Yeah.
That if someone is on death row right now, let's say they've been on death row 30 years. First off, 30 years is way too long. Okay. But let's say there's new technology, DNA, that can get them out. In fact, actually, I have a story.
No,
about,
Joe Rogan interviewed a dude who's on death row for like 20 years, and DNA got him off. The dude, it's the weirdest story.
Well, in a little bit, I'm going to be talking about Clarence Brandley, who was on death row for 30 years,
Yeah.
and was released, and unfortunately passed away of pneumonia. But he was in the middle of, after 30 some odd years, getting them to reopen the investigation because it was a black guy accused of rape, murder of white girls. There were 6 janitors at this school. He was the only black one. The other 5 stood up for, gave accounting for each other. There was Caucasian hair found on the victim, and so he apparently was railroaded. The first trial ended up in a mistrial, and then in 1980, and then there was a second trial, all white jury, sent him up the river. So that, that's why I say death penalty, in cases of import like that, the standard needs to go higher. If someone's on death row for 20, 30 years, and let's say there's DNA evidence that could have been collected or is collected but was never run through the test, then now's the time to do it. Some people say, well, only one innocent person needs to be killed to negate the whole death penalty case. I don't go that far, but you want to take that argument away from people. You want to make sure if someone is paying a capital punishment for a capital crime, you have to be sure this needs to go beyond just a reasonable doubt, in my opinion. So I think laws will always change. Are very mutable. Mm-hmm. Prohibition, no prohibition. Name every topic.
Well, prohibition,
you want.
no prohibition to me it's more black and white. I'm talking about like they're gonna word the laws to give more advantage to one party or another. Like for example, you know how long it's been, and this is just a light case. Like when it comes to child custody laws have been changing all the time depending on state to state, and you would argue now it's like known that pretty much most of the time it goes to the lady.
No, actually, that's the change.
But now it's changed. No, that's what I'm saying. Now it's slowly
more judges
50-50.
are going, half and half, because studies have come out saying children are better adjusted and the parents actually become better adjusted with each other if there's a sense of, well, I'm just not the Disney dad, or I'm not the weekend mom or something. And so, yeah, the laws change as a result. So in regards to, let's say, sexual assault cases, the law is mutable. You do want to see, and it's a fine line to say, if you give the advantage to the victim to say, okay, anything they say, has to be true. That opens it up for a non-victim to claim victimhood, to just throw that away.
Well, I mean,
that's why there has to be checks.
There's
got to
be, there's going to be abuse of it, but it's 9:24. We got to take a break because we got our guests. Did you know we're going to have a emergency preparedness fair? What a great transition.
No,
Stay
tell me
smart.
about it.
Be prepared. Coming Tuesday, September 18th.
Don't be a stupid idiot.
So don't be a stupid. That's going to be our marketing push for this. Don't be a stupid idiot. We're going to have those folks in, so we're going to transition the studio. We'll be back shortly after this on Mornings with Lone Star.
My name is Jay Stittleberg. I'm an Iraq War veteran, Naval Academy graduate, certified project management professional, and I'm running for county judge in Montgomery County. We should have a budget and a strategic plan that reflect the priorities in our county: public safety, flood mitigation, mobility and infrastructure. I will build trust in our county government through transparency and accountability, representing every resident in Montgomery County. I'm Jay Stittleberg, and I'm ready to work for you.
Clean Sweep Office Cleaning has been Montgomery County's business cleaning service since 2002, offering professional office cleaning in areas such as restroom, stairwells, elevator, floor care, pretty much every angle of your office. One-time cleaning is available, but you will want these guys back. Offering daily, weekly, monthly scheduled cleanings, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning works around your business needs. Schedule a cleaning today online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or call 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Between the Crichton Theater and the Owen Theater, Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with tasty treats and Italy's favorite coffee. Have your favorite coffee or just have a midday snack be personally delivered to you at any location in downtown Conroe. All you have to do is call 936-CONROE-C or 936-266-7632.
We'd like to thank our sponsor at Conroe Coffee for supporting Mornings with Lone Star and Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget to check them out online at conroecoffee.com.
Welcome back. Mornings Lone Star 927. Broadcasting live on irlonestar.com worldwide. Facebook Live on Mornings with Lone Star. And of course, Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. Welcome back. We got the Emergency Preparedness Fair friends in the studio. Very excited to learn more about this upcoming event. So, Sean, who do we have with us?
Dick, we have Cassie Laughlin, who's the emergency management specialist for the Conroe
Is
Fire
this The
Department.
Price is Right?
That's right. This is
And
Johnny
who do we have
Barton
with
here.
us?
Come on down, Cassie. You're the next contestant on Don't Be a Stupid Idiot. And we also have Victoria Ensley here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Hey,
everybody.
Get right up on that microphone. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid of it.
Good morning.
There you go. We can hear it now.
You can bring it to you.
Yeah, you really want to get close to it.
There we go.
There we are.
Hello.
Hello. All right. So, happening, folks, in the Conroe area is the Emergency Preparedness Fair, happening on Tuesday, September 18th. And there's another one coming, if you missed that one, on Saturday, November 3rd from 3 to 7 at the Conroe Activity Center. It's free to the public. They're going to have raffle vendors, demos, refreshments, smart 911, sign-up assistance. And I actually want to learn more about that when we get this going. But this is the first time they're doing this. And from what I'm understanding, it's just general education for the folks here in Conroe and Montgomery County about what to do when an emergency happens, like any emergency, you would say?
Yeah, so we're actually going to have a lot of information on basic safety, home fire safety, and disaster preparedness. So the next time we get another big storm like what's coming up in the Gulf to South Texas right now, you're prepared. We don't want you to not know what to do when a disaster happens. And this is a great opportunity. We're going to have tons of different organizations that help during disasters or have basic safety information. We're going to have EMS there, fire, police. The Red Cross is going to be there. Excuse me. We are also even going to
Don't
have...
be so nervous. We don't bite much.
We're also going to have PetSmart there. They don't have any dogs or cats or anything with them that might bite, but they're going to talk about pet safety as well. We have been very lucky to have several of these other organizations donate items for a raffle. So Kroger, the Amateur Radio Emergency Service of Montgomery County, Sam Houston State, and PetSmart have all donated items. So our raffle will be you fill out a kind of like a bingo card saying that you've been to every booth, that you've signed up for Smart 911, and I'll get a little bit more into that in a little bit. And then you're entered in for this raffle, and the prizes for the raffle are valued up to $150. So we're really excited to have this, hoping we get a pretty good turnout.
So beyond PetSmart, who else has helped you sponsoring? Because this is the first one, right? This is the inaugural fair.
Yes, this is our very first one. We're really excited to have this. Kroger donated, the Amateur Radio Emergency Service Group has donated, Sam Houston State University is donating some of the prizes. We are also going to have tons of other booths there. Tri-County has a Texas Recovering Together group that's going to be there providing more information about how Texans can help each other recover from disasters. I've got about 15 to 20 different groups that are actually going to have booths at this fair.
Wow. You should get like Bob's Pool Supply to be a sponsor. They can give out those noodles. You can like float down the streets as they flood up.
As long as you got a noodle, you can float through the Whataburger drive-through. You're
right.
fine.
Those noodles are like lifesavers. You can like weave them together to make a little noodle raft and all kinds of stuff. And they're neon, so you can, helicopters can spot them from the air.
Yeah.
This is what I think about at night when the storms come. What about you, Dick?
You should just give us the safety list. The things that we need to be prepared. Pool noodles.
Yeah, number one, don't buy a house in my neighborhood.
You just go to Amazon and buy a bunch of MREs.
I gotta say, from when I was,
They're pretty good these days. I'm just letting you know.
back from my days when I did time, the RAF, they were called
when you did
C-RAF.
time? What do you mean you did time?
In the military.
Okay. I was like, what?
The Royal Air Force C rations were, oh my gosh, they were horrible. We had like powdered mock turtle soup. And it was horrible. But the MREs today, because we got some after we flooded, they dropped them off. These are like the coolest things. They're like self-heating. I had like veal parmesan.
Yeah, we would take those little heating packets and you throw them in like 2-liter bottles and close it and they blow up. It's a lot of fun.
But now we're no longer stupid idiots, so we don't do that, right?
I wouldn't suggest doing that for safety.
No. Well, it's like about you to entertain people while you're bored.
Yeah, there's no power. TV's out. You don't have analog TV anymore, and you're battery powered. Thanks a lot, President Bush, on that one.
We got board games, cards. That's a little bit more.
Well, you got to
safer.
light fires to see them in the dark. So,
well,
we got this.
One thing I have a question about the preparedness fair is probably the main focus will be flooding because of Harvey, but there's got to be other emergencies out there that a lot of people don't foresee happening, and then it's like, oh, now we're stuck.
So I know it's been a few years since we've had the threat of wildfire, but it's still a threat. Not exactly at this moment, but we've been getting a little bit too much rain to worry about that right now. But it's still a threat that we address every year. The Tri-County fires that happened several years ago have happened long enough ago that I think people are starting to forget about it. But wildfires are still something that we need to think about when we're planning for preparedness. Hurricanes, yes, we've seen flooding, but there's also more to hurricanes than just flooding.
Well, Ike showed that.
Yeah.
I live in the woodlands, and so we lost, for a while we were called the woodland because we lost so many trees.
Yeah. The winds from the hurricanes can be pretty devastating. There's tornadoes that you can get, and you can get those tornadoes regardless of whether it's a hurricane or a regular storm.
So can we get a bunker at this fair? I feel like that's what you're basically telling me. Like
shelter.
The ultimate preparedness is
shelter.
just dig a hole in the ground and put a bunker in, folks.
It's like watching the TV show Disaster Preppers.
Yeah.
Yeah, bug out bags and everything.
Yeah, they call me crazy now, but wait till it hits the fan. I'm going to throw it over to Victoria for a bit, and for listener Bert, this is Victoria Ensley. with an E and a D, not Hensley. His name's Hensley, and he thought you may have been like some long lost niece or something. So sorry to do that
He
to you, Bert.
constantly asks
And it's
that.
the
Yeah.
husband's, last name.
There
so.
you go. So you maybe back in 4,000 years ago in Africa, who knows? Maybe
Perhaps, yeah.
there was a in-law situation. But so Victoria, what's the kind of like the chain of command? Something goes down here in the Conroe area or Montgomery County area. We can specify Conroe. How does the word get out? What goes down when and where?
Well, I think we'll kind of both answer this.
Okay.
We open our emergency operations center, and immediately essential personnel go there, and we start to distribute the information to the media. We start to let the different departments know what we're preparing for, even days before the event actually happens. If you want to elaborate a little bit more, because that's kind of your area.
So I'm just going to talk about how we prepared for and then responded to Harvey, since that was our most recent real response. For days ahead, we knew that it was coming. We knew something was going to happen. We didn't know the extent of how bad it would be, but we knew that there was a risk for something. So for the week ahead, we prepped all of our departments. Our public works department really ramped up, trying to make sure that they had all the equipment and supplies they needed to be able to block roads that were flooding. Our police made sure that they had police officers, and fire made sure that they had firefighters that were ready to do overtime in case they were needed, which they were. And we reached out to area agencies and organizations and stores that we felt would be necessary to prepare us. We called all the pharmacies and tried to make sure that we knew which pharmacies were going to be open, so that if there was something catastrophic and people needed medicine, we knew how to get them their medicine.
Also coordinating shelters and places for people to go if they were displaced.
We were working very close with the county
Wow.
on that. We made sure that we contacted all of the senior citizen living facilities to make sure that they were prepared, that they knew what to do in case they had to evacuate. There's a lot that goes into preparing, and this is stuff that we kind of generally do all year long, and then do another big push of it right before we know something's going to happen. And then when it does happen, we did open up our EOC, Emergency Operations Center. We had all of our essential personnel there that were kind of coordinating the responses between the different organizations and between the organizations outside of the city that were helping, like the county, all the churches that stepped up, the schools wanted to be involved, the nonprofit organizations that help out. It was a really, really big response from everybody in the community, and we were able to kind of coordinate everything together, put all the little puzzle pieces together at the EOC.
Yeah. And
Now-
it's a 24-hour thing. It doesn't, stop. At the
Right,
end of the day,
right.
it's nonstop. We're there making sure that everybody's safe, and we're evacuating neighborhoods if we have to, and things like that, and trying to make the public as aware minute to minute, what's going on. So.
And one of the ways that we've tried to communicate with the public has been through social media, radio, news, television, paper. But one of the things that we're trying to do that will help us better in future disasters is sign people up for the Smart 911 app. Smart 911 is a new program. I mean, it's been in Montgomery County for a couple years now. We've put it into place, and it's very successful. It allows you to go create a profile for you and your family and your home, and you can put as much information in as you want or as little information in as you want. I know some people are kind of weird about sharing information with the government, but
They already have it. It doesn't matter. They've already got everything. So
it
Let's
allows
not
you
tell
to put
them
it.
that, though.
yeah.
It allows you to put in as much information as you want. So if you want to put in a picture of your kid and a picture of your dog and what medications everybody is on, then you can. So if your child does go missing, the police already have a picture of your kid. It's great to be able to start looking for them if something happens.
Or in the event of a fire at your home, they know you have dogs that are in the house and things like that. Also, if, there is flooding or some kind of emergency and we can't reach you for some reason, cell phones are out. We know specifics about your medical needs and things like that. When the first responders, when they arrive, they'll be aware of that.
I was going to ask, after I had to walk 3 miles just to get a signal, and I lived in the Woodlands. It was just for some reason
The
at
towers
my
were out.
apartment at that time. Yeah. So cell phones probably be the first things to go.
And it's great also because you'll be able to list emergency contacts. So if you have somebody outside of the area, who can be contacted and check in on you and things like that, it helps to kind of build a buddy system of sorts.
If your mother lives off by herself and you want to register your phone number to her address, that way, if there's any alerts in that area, you get notified.
Like ballistic missiles.
Yeah. So if a ballistic
Exactly.
missile is headed for the Woodlands, you
So
can
there
go
you go.
down.
There we
I
go.
was wondering. I always wondered.
I'm
whose
gonna be
job it
knocking on
was.
your shelter door. You said that there was like a great community response, but let's talk about the organizations involved because, as you pointed out, Cassie, there's so many different disasters that could happen. I know we have at least one listener who grew up in Tornado Alley, so I don't remember do I find a hole and put my butt in the air, or is that for a lightning storm? I mean, will these at this fair will they be able to address kind of specify responses to different emergencies?
Absolutely. I'm going to have a lot of flyers that you can take that will address how to prepare for flooding and hurricanes, how to prepare for tornadoes, how to prepare for home fires or wildfires, and all sorts of different types of stuff. Ready.gov is a great resource, and they really get into the different types of disasters that there are and how to prepare yourself for them.
Ready.gov. I got to check
We
that
have a
out.
lot of their PSAs that show, fire safety, home safety, general safety tips on our TV channel, on our city.
And also the FM numbers here will be
Yes.
converted to an emergency signal, basically.
Yes,
so
if
folks,
you turn in here, you'll be able to hear from the fire chief and the emergency operations center, and we'll be giving.
I've
updates
actually seen
regularly.
the EOC.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
It looks like it's like from CSI.
really?
It's a little too weird.
I want to look like the NASA control room in Armageddon, the fake one.
It
The
kinda
one that's all
does
like
look-
high tech.
It kind of
kinda
does.
does.
Awesome. Okay, can I push buttons in there?
Probably not.
Yeah, don't push anything in there,
man.
please.
Especially
They
not the
run-
big red
They run
button.
a tight ship there.
So the fair itself is happening. We got two of them on September 18th. And what are the times? So it's Tuesday, September 18th, and Saturday, November the 3rd.
Both are going to be from 3 to 7.
Okay, so you're getting like people during the day and
Yeah.
after work. Great.
Yeah, so we wanted to make sure that if you were able to come on a Tuesday, that you could come. If you don't work those days, you can come earlier. If you do work, you can come after work. And we also wanted to make sure that we had one on a day that was on a weekend, so that people who aren't able to make it during work days can come in on Saturday. So that's why we chose one on a Tuesday and one on a Saturday. We've got them spaced a little bit apart so that we can make sure that we plan for each one appropriately and get them prepared so that there are successful events for the
And
people who come.
it's a family friendly event, so
Absolutely.
bring the kids.
We're going to
you
have
know.
the smokehouse from the fire department so the kids can run through a smoky trailer.
Kids.
Well, we have a
Kid Schmids.
we have a listener question. They wanted to know what funds all this stuff, like say the 911 and then say the fair and things like that. Is it the county, the city?
Yeah, Smart 911 is run by Montgomery County Hospital District. They are the ones that bought it and fund it. We are the only ones in the state of Texas that are signed up with this, but it's proven to be a very proactive dispatching tool. It also allows us to be able to send messaging out to specific geographical areas. I can draw a circle on the map and say, I want every phone number that's registered to Smart 911 in this area and every cell phone that's in this area to get a message. So if we have to evacuate a certain area or something like that, we can send a message.
Which we
to that
did have
area.
to, last year. So that would have been hugely helpful if we had everybody, signed up and was able to push that kind of alert out to people and let them know, hey, you need to start evacuating.
Cool.
Okay.
Two,
Cool.
two quick questions. One was, we talked earlier about the Hawaii, the ballistic missiles coming in, and they are swearing blind. I don't believe them, but they're swearing blind that one guy literally had the power to do this. Tell me you got safeguards in your little room, right? Not just some idiot who's gonna think there's a missile.
Of us.
It's not gonna be like
There's a whole
99
team of
Luft
us.
balloons floating overhead.
Well,
and-
you think there would be like the 2 key thing?
you would
That's right.
think.
You got the two
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
who are
Like you
turning.
can't send out a message like there's a ballistic missile heading your way without 2 people going, okay, confirm.
Listen to the English translation of 99 Luft balloons. That's how World War III starts, okay? I'm just saying. And finally, Victoria, I know your office is in like City Hall, and I've got unconfirmed reports that there's some kind of a Bond villain escape module that for like the Mirror and Bergadamo and stuff. Can you confirm this to me?
I can't confirm. Or
Neither confirm nor okay. No comment from the City of Conroe officials. You heard it here first in this exclusive interview with Cassie Laughlin and Victoria Ensley. I'm gonna pronunciate that one.
And we're talking about the Emergency Preparedness Fair coming your way in the Conroe area on Tuesday, September 8th, and also returning on Saturday, November 3rd from 3 to 7 p.m. at the Conroe Activity Center over there at 1204 Candy Cane Lane. It's free for everyone, for kids and everything. So come. That's Tuesday, September 18th, folks. That's next week from 3 to 7 p.m. Ladies, thank you so much for coming in and talking about this.
Thank you.
And we're going to take a break here. We're going to be reaching almost the top of the hour, so we got one more segment before that. And if you have more questions about the Emergency Preparedness Fair, please visit cityofconroe.org. It's all the information is right there at cityofconroe.org. You're listening to Mornings with Lone Star here at irlonestar.com, Facebook Live, and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. We'll be back after a break.
My name is Jay Stittleberg. I'm an Iraq War veteran, Naval Academy graduate, certified project management professional, and I'm running for county judge in Montgomery County. We should have a budget and a strategic plan that reflect the priorities in our county: public safety, flood mitigation, mobility and infrastructure. I will build trust in our county government through transparency and accountability, representing every resident in Montgomery County. I'm Jay Stittleberg, and I'm ready to work for you.
Clean Sweep Office Cleaning has been Montgomery County's business cleaning service since 2002, offering professional office cleaning in areas such as restroom, stairwells, elevator, floor care, pretty much every angle of your office. One-time cleaning is available, but you will want these guys back. Offering daily, weekly, monthly scheduled cleanings, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning works around your business needs. Schedule a cleaning today online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or call 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Between the Crichton Theater and the Owen Theater, Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with tasty treats and Italy's favorite coffee. Have your favorite coffee or just have a midday snack be personally delivered to you at any location in downtown Conroe. All you have to do is call 936-CONROE-C or 936-266-7632.
We'd like to thank our sponsor at Conroe Coffee for supporting Mornings with Lone Star and Lone Star Community Radio. Don't forget to check them out online at conroecoffee.com.
Welcome back, Mornings Lone Star, irlonestar.com, Facebook Live, blah, 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 blah. Special thanks to the City of Conroe coming in, talking about the Emergency Preparedness Fair. Folks, stay smart, be prepared, don't be an idiot. On Tuesday, September 18th at the Conroe Activity Center, free to the public, so you can join the City of Conroe. They host the fair, which is an opportunity to look at how the county and the city help and assist residents who are, well, I guess, when an emergency happens, all that good stuff. Especially talking about Smart 911. The Smart 911 thing seems like a no-brainer, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And what's strange to me is I thought like something like that already kind of existed, but I guess not.
No, well, what surprised me is that
Like, can't the United States send me a text right now if they really needed to? Like the government? Can't like the U.S.
No,
government?
because you haven't signed up for it. That's the whole thing about the NSA may have your cell phone.
So how
records
did
and
the
stuff.
ballistic missile text happen?
Though that was a statewide thing that got signed up for.
So you get to sign up for that before you get a ballistic missile text.
Yeah.
Okay, so similar to the 911.
Right.
Okay. I thought it was just kind of like...
And since Hawaii is standalone, meaning, you don't have a contiguous state to it, you got to get there by plane or boat or submarine, more people would be signed up for that, whereas we're here we have 49 other states that we can rely on to get us information, without crossing water. So that's why so many Hawaiians were on that update list. Plus, also Hawaii is like the western edge of the eastern of the Far East Front. Basically, if there's a new war in the Pacific Theater, Hawaii would be number one. And I'm sure Alaska has the same thing going down, because if the Russians wanted to
walk over,
Yeah, I feel you on that.
lay down a bridge. I should have asked the ladies while they were here if the emergency preparedness would have included moon breakaway, based on it being September 13th. Would they tell us what we would do, how we would survive without our moon?
Wouldn't gravity kind of?
Well, there was an episode where they come across a parallel Earth where the same thing happened.
Because honestly,
and they find out what happens.
the only thing I know, scientifically, what the moon does is it causes waves, or it has some effect over the waves, and that might be false today.
No,
But
no,
I remember reading, being taught that.
the gravitational pull of the moon directly affects our tides.
Okay, just
Yeah.
what else does it affect?
Well, there's
We
gravitational
won't have
pull,
any
so there's
eclipses.
effect. Huh? No more eclipses. No more, secret missions to the far side of the moon.
But I told you that was the interesting thing about that Lisa Gilbert, the congresswoman from Hawaii, when she was talking about being in D.C. and getting that ballistic missile text, and how many people just thought it was over, and how many people afterwards called in to complain and stuff like that. But I mean, if something like that happens, it's kind of just roll up in a fear ball and there you go.
Yeah, we can talk about, that millions of bottles of water were found in Puerto Rico. You heard about this, right?
Yeah.
And now they're completely useless now. They've been in the
Well, they
sun
found
too
photo.
long.
I saw a photo of it. And I was
Yeah,
like,
no,
man,
it's
so that's what 1 million bottles of water looks like. All right.
Yeah, basically took up an airfield. And that just harkened back to when the governor was standing in front of all the TV cameras and just bemoaning
Yeah.
how no response from the president or the administration. And behind her were stacked pallets of supplies and water and stuff that she's going, we don't have anything. And behind her were thousands upon thousands. And this is something. Now, I got a report this morning. I just got the headline in this report that apparently the president is denying the 3,000 body count from, was it Hurricane Maria, right? Or Tropical Storm Maria, the one that hit Puerto Rico. Because originally they said 67 people died, and now they're saying 3,000 from out of, revised estimates. Now, I can imagine going from 67 to 300, but and for them to say, well, we didn't have the infrastructure. Puerto Rico is still a U.S. territory. Yeah, it was treated pretty badly, and hopefully the plight has been, a light has been shed on its plight to get it, into the 21st century with infrastructure and maybe even some governmental control, some better control. But I need to find out more information on the president denying. I need to know if this is indeed true, and if it is, what the reasoning may be. Is he just saying that to stir the pot, or is there something to it? But it doesn't help to have.
I think especially while we had these good folks in talking about emergency preparedness, I imagine a large portion of their job is to manage and be prepared to distribute those kind of goods. And I think also the Puerto Rico thing, it was an emergency response. It wasn't a preparedness.
Correct.
So I think it doesn't surprise me that people found million bottles of water somewhere, because all it takes is one person or one group of people going, I'm tired. We've been working a week straight. We're going home. And they're like, well, there's no one else going to be here to move the water. And then they moved on because you're responding to all these emergencies. Not saying that it's stupid. It's just mismanagement. It sounds like mismanagement 101, or you can conspiracy theory at 101 and say they were trying to sell the bottles of water.
Well, I wouldn't even say that's a conspiracy theory. Any number of things could have happened. But
I mean, how big is Puerto Rico?
Like at least 3 football fields, I think.
So, I mean, misplacing 1 million bottles of water would be pretty obvious, I imagine, right?
Yeah, but there needs to be accountability. It's who misplaced it, where did the breakdown happen? You can say, well, there was a breakdown, mistakes were made, and breakdown in communication. No, Bob neglected to tell Mary there's 1 million bottles of water here, or Bob told Mary and Mary didn't take, I'm just, I heard that.
Bob's at
Bob-
it again.
Bob, go back to Hawaii and put your finger on the text button there. But my good friend John Patterson, remember, he was the one that formed a nonprofit, Aid Puerto Rico Now, just because he saw what was going on. To him, that was intolerable. And what he did, him going out there on his own dime and getting people to go out and rebuild stuff and bring supplies, he was telling me he had
It's 100 miles long
tons and
by 35 miles wide.
yeah, it's a very thin island. But John Patterson and Aid Puerto Rico Now had tons upon tons upon tons. I mean, like 1 million pounds worth of food and supplies and water that they not only got over there, but also helped distribute. You just don't leave it at the loading dock and hope that people come get it. So somewhere was a breakdown.
No, like I said, like that's the way. I mean, I think Puerto Rico, looking at the size difference, if we put it in Texas, I think it might go from Galveston to like the cusp of Montgomery County. If you,
Yeah,
like,
100
if you
miles?
turned it. And
Yeah, basically it's 100 miles from here to Galveston.
So it gives you kind of a visual. But again, like this happens all the time. Pretty much every time there's an emergency, someone forgets to do something.
But that was, especially if they're saying, oh, the 3,000 people died now. Well, why? And if you guys had resources there, who dropped the ball? Now, it didn't help that Puerto Rico, to begin with, as listener Misty pointed out, the infrastructure was already, it's almost like Cuba level when you find out how easily Puerto Rico was overrun by this storm. You know, the roofs ripped off.
Yeah.
And that they lost power, and then lost power for months upon months. It was
Upon months, people.
yeah, it became pretty much a third world nation,
All right.
sub-nation.
Well, there you go.
But you know what that
Be
was?
prepared, folks. Don't forget Emergency Preparedness Fair, September
Right.
18th, 3 to 7 p.m.
And if anyone's in the Carolinas listening to us, know that we're with you in spirit right now. And if it hits the fan, you know that Texas will be the first group of people heading up there to take care of them.
It is 9:57. We're going to take our top of the hour break here on Mornings with Lone Star, irlonestar.com. We got Jay Siddleberg for County Judge coming in. So if you got questions for Jay, you know how to respond to us on Facebook Live, or you can write in an anonymous email or whatever, irlonestar.com.
Maybe that's why they don't write. They're afraid of having their name associated with us. We should.
Well, yeah, that's
give them an
what
anonymous
the
way to do
downside
it.
of Facebook. You can't create like made up names.
On our website, we should have like a little anonymous leave your comment here thing.
Okay, I can set that up.
Okay.
You listen to Lone Star Community Radio. We'll be back.
You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio on 104.5 KCZW LP Conroe and 106.1 KZCC LP Conroe and worldwide on irlonestar.com. Business office cleaning is available in the Montgomery County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule, with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with other treats and coffee. For more information regarding store hours and delivery in downtown Conroe, Conroe Coffee is on Facebook or by telephone at 936-266-7632.
We would like to thank Conroe Coffee for being a supporter of Lone Star Community Radio and our morning sponsor with Mornings with Lone Star.
Want to check out the fastest growing sport in the world? It's right here in Conroe, Texas, and it's roller derby. Conroe Roller Derby is a non-profit recreational league of women and men who want you to come and check out the fast-paced, hard-hitting game of roller derby. The Conroe Cutthroats practice at Rainbow Roller Rink on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Sundays. You can find our game schedule and more information on our website, www.conroerollerderby.com.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show with monthly and weekly slots available in Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
For those of you who like your partners, your gumbo, and your music salty, well, we're here to help with the music. Julian Shea here, host of Lone Star Country Nights Thursday, your weekly dose of roots and Americana and all the music that makes this part of the country special. We stir in Western swing, honky-tonk, Zydeco, Texas blues, outlaw country, and put a pinch of red dirt, and then we smoke it over a slow fire. Then listen to the results Thursday nights on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 and worldwide at irlonestar.com.
Hey guys, this is Connor.
This is Dick.
This is Chris. And we're with the Ticket Stub Podcast every Thursday live at noon on 104.5 and 106.1 FM in the Conroe area. Also, anytime at irlonestar.com. You go to irlonestar.com/TTS. You can find all of our social media.
And don't forget, we give away 2 tickets to the Grand Theater on every show.
If you like movies and you like complaining or celebrating anything that has to do with the silver screen, check out the Ticket Stub Podcast and join us every Thursday at noon o'clock on Lone Star Community Radio.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show with monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5 and 106.1 and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the station message line at 936-647-3776.
All right, welcome back. Mornings Lone Star, irlonestar.com. We're broadcasting live on Facebook Live under Mornings Lone Star and Lone Star Community Radio, Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. It is 10:02. Welcome back. We still got an hour left. And don't forget, today, the 6th Annual Heroes Luncheon is happening down the street from the studio, actually, on 2854 with Questco. They're giving out free food for first responders. So if you're a first responder, you can get some barbecue, desserts, drinks. There's a raffle. There's music. It's just kind of the way they can give back, Questco. They can give back to the first responders. More information, just look up Questco. And I have a phone number here. I don't know if Emily really wants me to give this out, but she put it on a poster.
Then
so
go for it.
She's, you know,
there's no expectation.
You get what you get right here, Emily. 936-521-5714. That's 936-521-5714. My dyslexia didn't hit me that time.
Woo-woo!
That was great. There you go. All right. Back in the studio, Jay Stillberg for County Judge. We're very excited about today because last time you were in, we were kind of hinted that we were going to talk about the water condition or water scenario. What do you want to call it? We got to give it a cool name. Like the water travesty, or no?
Gate?
Are we being? Is someone?
Watergate's taken. So.
Is it someone going to? Are people stealing our water? Do we say the thief or like?
Okay, I'll take it. Remember the China syndrome when the whole thing? Jack Lemmon finally said we had an incident, and everyone's going, yeah, finally he said incident. So there's the water. Well, see, it's not a singular incident. The water situation.
Yeah, the water.
The water paradigm.
Yeah, sure, that's a good way to put it.
The water paradigm.
It's the situation.
The water sitch. The sitch.
Who are you, Kim Possible?
I don't know. What's Kim Possible?
There's a cartoon where she said, "What's the sitch?"
Oh, and you absorb way too much info.
I got kids. I got grandkids.
Okay. Well, Jay Stillberg's back in, and he's running for county judge in November. You can still register to vote. I believe it's October 9th. Man, look at that. I'm soaking up information too, baby. So
you're a sponge, Dick.
October 9th. You still got time to register. It's not hard to register to vote. MCTX.org has information on how to check your registry and all that kind of stuff. So that's exciting. So, and Jay has been nice enough to come in every day after Commissioner's Court from the County Commissioner Court. And he's here.
Man, you
he was doing so well. He was doing so well.
Too many words. Too many words.
Well, welcome back, Jay.
Thanks. Good to be here. How you doing?
I saw Hunt for the Red October. And I
Oh,
thought
you
about
did?
you.
First time you ever saw it?
Yes, because I've been like, I watched Jack. Well, I saw it a long time ago.
Okay.
Because that movie's relatively older. Like that was like made in the late 80s.
It's
if I
when we all
remember.
remembered the Cold War.
And I've been doing a Jack Ryan thing since Amazon Prime released their new series, and I love Clear and Present Danger, and I love Patriot Games. That was like one of my first movies outside of Indiana Jones to see Harrison Ford be really good. And so I was like, I gotta check all this Jack Ryan stuff out. And
Yeah, I just missed the filming of at the Academy when they did the filming for that. there.
Really?
Oh, really?
I missed it by 2 years. It's unfortunate, but
if you guys have no idea what we're talking about, Jay actually lived in a submarine, and which is part of that movie, Hunt for right? Am I wrong?
Yeah, and I'm just thinking now I got Yellow Submarine stuck in my head all of a sudden.
All right. It's that issue you have with soaking up information.
That's right.
The brain
Wires
won't turn
crossed.
off. Okay, well, since you've seen Hunt for Red October, next you got to watch Crimson Tide. That's
I was
like-
thinking about that.
Or
well, but the biggest surprise about Hunt for October is Sam Neill's in it, and I just like that guy.
oh yeah,
Like I don't know why. Like every time it's like, oh, this
because
is
he can
gonna be
play
good.
anything. He plays a good guy, and
He played Merlin.
He played Merlin, but he plays a good guy, and then he literally played the Antichrist.
Yeah.
In Damien or Omen 3. So, and he was believable in all of them.
So
Yeah, he's a good
great
actor.
jump there. Great jump.
I'm just saying he's a good actor. He can play whatever you put in front of him.
Well, I want to remind folks who are listening, Jay is in the studio, so if you have questions, you can reach out to us on Facebook, Facebook Live, or you can email us at mwls@irlonestar.com, or just go to irlonestar.com, go to contact us, and there's all the portals and all that good stuff. So, Jay, do we want to start with the water stuff? Because I know I have zero information, even though we have a water show here on Lone Star Community Radio. I listened to them kind of, but what it came down to this issue has been such a big issue for a long time that I can't grasp it. It isn't like, oh, hey, we were digging and we hit a pipe. We got to solve this issue. It's like, no, more of like we laid all this pipe down, and 10 years later we realize it's bad.
Yeah, this is more of a we hit a pipe and now Lake Conroe's draining.
Is it?
No, but I'm saying the scale.
Is it?
The
I don't
scale.
know. That's what I'm saying.
He's a little gullible, I think.
Well,
did you know the word gullible is not in the dictionary?
I
should stop
I'm
using
not
it.
I'm not gonna fall for that. 'Cause-
Dang it.
But no, okay. So, what I want to do my best because you did some research. You kind of have an idea. Okay, I want to do the best I can, and this is coming from me not knowing anything about the water problem. The only thing I know right now is it's really expensive for people to use water in Montgomery County. That's what I know. My mom and dad have said that, and they're like, we don't even use this water. We use another reservoir. We don't even use SJRA. That's right. And like, why do we pay this? And then like Holly and I moved up, we pay a fee to them, but we don't use that much water. So it wasn't like, oh man, I'm breaking my pocketbook, But some people who, say I own a golf course, and I'm just kidding. I don't know. They're probably having problems too. But it's a big issue for some people because your bill
Sure.
is almost as much as your energy bill,
Sure.
your water bill, and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I think, and Skippy, I know you're knowledgeable on this stuff too, so
got game.
you can jump in here too. I'm not an expert by any stretch of the imagination, but here's my take on everything that's going on. The Lone Star Groundwater Conservation District was established in 2001, I do believe, and basically between the San Jacinto River Authority, the SJRA, and the Lone Star Groundwater Conservation District. The Groundwater Conservation District is basically supposed to be looking for alternative, affordable sources of water for Montgomery County. And hence, the thing that they are concerned with is groundwater conservation. Now, the San Jacinto River Authority is really surface water. So we're not talking about groundwater. We're talking about surface water because obviously the SJRA sells water, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so my take and my understanding of why this became a huge issue and why it's turned to now the board is going to be elected in November instead of the appointed
The
board.
board for the groundwater.
The Lone Star Groundwater Conservation
Okay.
District. So that election's also November 6th, and there are candidates in the races, and we can talk more as we go on here about the specifics of how they're breaking that down. But at the end of the day, what the perception of what's happening and whether it's real or not, that we'll let people judge. But the bottom line is you had this appointed board to the Lone Star Groundwater Conservation District. You have the San Jacinto River Authority, And essentially, people perceive, it looks like, that what was happening is that the Lone Star Groundwater Conservation was pushing people towards paying more money and using, because surface water is more expensive than groundwater. So pushing people towards using surface water, hence preserving groundwater. But the unfortunate thing is as the groundwater usage kind of seemed to be going down a little bit, this Lone Star Groundwater Conservation District kept increasing their fees and not reducing their budget. So, in the last, I think it's 2 years, they've basically doubled their fees from like 6 cents to 11 cents over the last 2 years, I think.
And the fees they charged go to the water providers who had to turn around and pass it on, because the water providers, that's why they were complaining. They were getting reamed by the users saying, hey, you're doubling my rates here. And so the providers, the Quadvests of the world or whatever, would be talking around saying, we're just adding what we've been hit with by that. And that's what started the whole.
Yeah. And so, obviously a law was passed, and I think Senator Creighton was the one that actually introduced the bill, which was ultimately passed. I mean, all the legislators in the county were on it, but I think Creighton and Metcalf were the first two. And at the end of the day, what it did is said, okay, we're going to replace this 9-person appointed board with a 7-person elected board. And of course, the way they broke it down was they have one representative from Conroe specifically, one representative from the Woodlands specifically, because they're the two biggest water users in the county, and then one elected person from each precinct in the county, and then one at-large position, so it makes up a 7-person board. So.
Now, like I said, like from what I understand is people are paying a lot of money for their water. Electing a board, what does that directly mean for me not paying as much money?
Well, the ultimate idea behind it is there is accountability to the people of Montgomery County. When you have an appointed board, they're not accountable to anybody, quite frankly. But when you have elected officials that sit on the board, they are now accountable to the residents of the county that elect them. So
there were thoughts of this flagrant conflicts of interest with existing board members, because you could literally work for an organization that was firmly opposed to the mission of the Lone Star Groundwater Conservation District and be on that board. Because as Jay just said, there's no accountability. It's an appointed position. So,
no, but as like a voter, you can't just downright say, if you vote for this guy, you'll save money.
No, I mean, I agree. I mean, of course, you can say that if you want to, but whether that becomes to be true or not is another story. But
what's the reality of getting this under control?
I think the reality is that when you now have an elected board, and I'll be honest, I don't know how they did business beforehand, but when you have an elected board, if they're going to hold meetings, they're required to give public notice, at least I think 48 or 72 hours in advance with the time, what the agenda is. So the public can come. Every one of their meetings, if they're going to talk about the business of the board, have to be public meetings.
Voting records.
Voting records. I mean, so they're trying to get more transparency and accountability in the board is what it. I mean, that's what the point of what they're doing.
Well, with SJRA and the groundwater, are those government entities?
So the San Jacinto River Authority does count as a district authority, which is kind of like a governmental entity. But the Groundwater Conservation District, it isn't beholden directly to the legislature, I believe, but there are strong apron strings between them.
So they're private?
No, they're not. They're not.
Do they pay taxes or not?
No, that's a good question. Let's look into that.
Isn't that how basically divides it? What makes it private? What makes it not private?
You keep talking while I look something up right.
Well, because I think really what I'm trying to understand about the listening to the solution of making the groundwater elected position, from the underlying thing to it, I thought that was the best solution they could come up with today to try to curb this growing issue. There wasn't really a direct response they could do legally to change the price of water today, but this was more of like, hey, this is a strategy we got. Maybe if we change the way this board works, that might improve the quality of, or what the goal of changing the price of water. That's the only solution they could come that would work and be, actually be implemented, instead of like, hey, we're just gonna fire everybody, we're gonna get a whole new thing. because that's kind of like the sledgehammer approach. This seems to me like the slow approach.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, I think what you tend to find in general is the idea behind having an elected versus an appointed board is that, again, now there's this, issue of accountability to the voters in how they can conduct their business as a board. Obviously, if people aren't happy with somebody, they can vote them out and change the position. And they will certainly be more scrutinized in what they're doing with their budget and how they're charging the people of Montgomery County just because it's now elected, right? And I think that's the whole point.
Because it also sounds like there's a lot of individual entities in this process. And it sounds like we're changing one gear in the whole system, and we're hoping that one gear change. We're hoping.
Yeah, well, I change doesn't come without starting the change.
Yeah.
Right. So at the end of the day, you have to take action somewhere, and you have to, and quite frankly, the public has to keep the pressure on it, right? Like if anyone thinks that just making this an elected board is going to fix everything, that's not true, and will never be true. People have to stay vigilant and stay on top of it.
Well,
so and ultimately, will it reduce our cost of water? Only time's going to tell, quite frankly. I mean, I don't think anyone can say yes or no.
But you can hold your representatives.
But at least you can hold them accountable.
Well, like, for example, my parents, they live in a subdivision called Crown Oaks in Montgomery, and they don't use any of the water the SJRA or uses, but they have to pay it. Now, how does that work?
Well, it's like if you don't have kids in school, you still have to pay for the schools.
Okay. So it's a government
Yeah,
entity?
what I was able to find out, because apparently each river authority can actually fall under different categories. I believe SJRA, San Jacinto, is a state agency.
Okay.
So, but there are some that are government-owned nonprofit corporations. So I got to dig in a little deeper. But then you have a groundwater conservation district, which is a managed. I just lost the word here. I have it here.
Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, if you don't mind, Jay, let's tie it into your position running for, the county judge. How does that affect this issue?
Sure.
Maybe because some of the listeners can finally say, like, why are y'all even talking about this? Y'all can't even do anything. So I want to learn more about that. We'll be right back. You're listening to Mornings with Lone Star, irlonestar.com, and YouTube. Well, not YouTube, sorry, Facebook Live. And then, of course, Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1. We'll be right back.
Business office cleaning is available in the Montgomery County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with other treats and coffee. For more information regarding store hours and delivery in downtown Conroe, Conroe Coffee is on Facebook or by telephone at 936-266-7632.
We would like to thank Conroe Coffee for being a supporter of Lone Star Community Radio and our morning sponsor with Mornings with Lone Star.
Does volunteering at a nonprofit horse sanctuary sound wonderful? Or are you a veteran or a veteran spouse and think trying a peer group session through a local Horses and Heroes equine program might be worth trying? Henry's Home Horse and Human Sanctuary, located in Grand Central Park by appointment only, is home to a growing number of rescued and donated horses. Visit our website at henryshomehorsesanctuary.org or check out our Facebook at Henry's Home Horse and Human Sanctuary for more information.
Lone Star Community Radio is looking for those who are interested in hosting their own talk show. With monthly and weekly slots available on Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1, and on irlonestar.com. Start your own podcast, create your first YouTube channel, and be on TV. Contact Lone Star Community Radio online at irlonestar.com or call the message line at 936-647-3776 to take your first step into the radio world.
Hispanic Chamber Connections with Dr. Carlos Sanchez, President of the Woodlands Conroe Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, featuring event announcements, member highlights, and more. Tuesdays at 1 p.m., broadcasting from the heart of Conroe, Texas on irlonestar.com and Conroe's FM 104.5, 106.1.
Listen in Mondays at noon to hear Conroe news from local nonprofits, businesses, upcoming events, Conroe Park events, news stories, and information that matters to you with your host, Margie Taylor of Taylorized PR. For more information about being a guest, visit irlonestar.com/Conroe Culture.
September 13th. Never forget. Where were you?
Oh, this is why I don't let you introduce.
Where were you in 1999 when the moon
So
broke
I'm not
free?
gonna lie. When you told me that this morning, I thought that was a real deal, and I was like, I never knew the moon was,
broke free of the gravitational
I was like,
pull
I feel like that'd be
and fell
bad.
for a black hole and ended up on the far end of the universe.
Is this where Gullible comes in again?
No, this is Space 1999.
That's what I'm saying. Like
he asked what
didn't,
music to
he
play
didn't say
today.
that whole thing. He goes, yeah, in 1999, the moon broke free of the Earth's gravitational pull, so it's slowly moving. And I was like, you know what? That's kind of crazy, but cool. And then when he introduced and he's like, oh, it's a TV series. Like, oh my god.
It was an
Oh my
awesome.
God.
Jerry Anderson, who also did Thunderbirds and UFO.
Yeah.
It was a great show in the 70s with Oscar-winning actors and actresses in it.
It's not going to work anymore. It's over. I'm actually going to change the song because I'm very
Don't you-
disappointed in myself.
No, it's
But-
it's jamming song.
Well, we're sitting here with Jay Stillberg, who's running for county judge in November, and we last segment we talked about the water issue or water situation, and one thing I wanted to connect it is to the position you're running for. What does that mean for this groundwater SJRA and the commissioner's court?
Yeah, and again, the commissioner's court is in certain obviously areas they're limited in the power they have to physically, mandate something be done. Those commissioners and the county judge can certainly be advocates for certain things. They can certainly call things out if they see them. They may not have power over it. But at the end of the day, I mean, again, I don't think that the commissioner's court is going to have, quite honestly, a whole lot of interaction on a business basis with something like the Lone Star Groundwater Conservation District. They're certainly going to have a relationship with the SJRA, and I'll even further that just to connect the dot with the Harris County Flood Control District, because again, the county judge is the head of emergency management for the county. So clearly they need to have a relationship with those entities, maybe not as close of a relationship with, again, the Lone Star Groundwater Conservation Group, because again, that's about the cost of water to the end user, the citizens. But certainly, when if we see something is fishy, is that a good way to put it?
Sounds good to me.
Then I think that some attention should be drawn to it. And I think it's good. I think accountability is good. I mean, that's part of the reason I'm running for this, right? I mean, I felt that a lot of people feel that there's a lack of transparency and accountability. And I could go on, integrity and ethics by folks. And it's not just the commissioner's court. Sometimes it's just county government in general in this county. People feel that there is not enough transparency and accountability. And I think a lot of people are getting fed up with that. And I think people want change. And they want change that's going to bring that transparency and accountability, and somebody that's still doing that, but also looking out for the best interest of their pocketbook and doing things the most efficient way at the best price. So,
well, I think a lot of folks who don't vote, that's kind of part of the reason they don't vote is because they don't really fully grasp what is each position's, accountability.
Yeah.
And then also, like, how do I know which person will benefit or make my life have a higher quality of life. And that's still some positions I still don't really get that they're elected, and some positions I'd get why they're elected.
Yeah.
But like especially with the county commissioners, like to me it just sounds like they need people to manage something, and we need 5 people to do that. And that's how we set it up originally. Like before I was born, there was always 5 people that just managed certain things, and that's who you're running for. That's the way it is.
Yeah, well, I'll say this: when it comes to local government, whether you live in an unincorporated area of the county, like the Woodlands, or any area that's unincorporated, it's not a city or a town where they don't have a city council or a mayor. Because if where you live does not have a city council or a mayor, then it's unincorporated. So the county government is basically your city council and your mayor.
Yeah.
And obviously in areas like Conroe, and they are your local authority. And we should all be paying attention to them, because these types of local government entities, which are taxing authorities, they have the biggest impact on your pocketbook in the shortest amount of time. Right. So, and
there you go. See, that makes sense to me.
And I tell people, like, I know county or local politics are not sexy. You don't see them on the news every day. You don't see them on national TV.
Well,
right? Those
clearly
politicians,
they don't tweet enough.
They don't have.
All you need to do is tweet every morning at 4 a.m. and then just like make fun of somebody, and then they'll start caring.
Well, I mean, the county judge doesn't have a camera crew following him around the county, right? So
we can fix that.
It doesn't seem sexy, and unfortunately, it's so much more important because the decisions that are made at a city council meeting or the commissioner's court, those decisions could affect your pocketbook the next day. Whereas stuff that happens at the state and federal level, it just takes longer.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's so important, because this is also things about your roads, your parks, your bridges, the services the county provides you, or your city provides you.
So, like, say my best friend,
so important.
Say my best friend's Elon Musk, right? And I'm like, dude, I see that you're digging tunnels in L.A. Can you dig tunnels here in Montgomery County? So I'd bring him to you.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't bring him to me directly.
Well, I mean, like, do I go to the county commissioners, or like I go, hey, we want to build some tunnels. Who do we need to talk to?
Sure.
That would fall under TxDOT, so you go to the state legislature.
You'd probably have to go to them first.
Okay, I was curious.
Then it
Like,
trickles
because I know you guys manage a lot.
Uh-huh.
And then we kind of talked about in the past with you about like for example the Montgomery County emergency shelter for the animals.
Animal shelter.
And that's unique to the county. Not every single county in the United States has that. So y'all manage things, but then y'all also are proactive about things. And then there's always the random, like when you read the newspaper, like, oh, I didn't even know they did that. And why does that even matter? Like, what the one I don't really get, and there's a 2-part question to this. So I was watching, is it Kavanaugh?
Right,
So there's a lot of, live feeds from that stuff.
Sure.
And I notice it's really great that they go, hey, you got time to talk. Is there a lot of grandstanding on the committee? Because a lot of times when they're talking, I'm like, do these people even, where are we going with this? Because a lot of times when they're just speaking, it's like at a random. Is that how the commissioner court really is run?
Well, I'll say it can be.
Yeah.
Because obviously the different commissioners are, they care about their precincts, and their precinct to them is number one. So you have 4 precincts that are number one. So and my opinion is, and that's why there's a county judge. He's supposed to keep the big picture in mind. But at the end of the day, it is political. Right. And so there's political allies, and you may be trying to align yourself with them, and I'm certain there's some grandstanding that goes on in doing so. Right. And obviously it's politics. And I think politics plays sometimes a little bit too much of a role in county politics. Because, again, I've said it time and again, I call this a partisan race about nonpartisan politics. I mean, I think the commissioner's court should be nonpartisan races. You shouldn't run as a D or an R or an I. You're running as an individual, and here's what I'm going to do for the county, because they are not lawmaking entities. They are about fiscal responsibility.
Yeah, I'll do a lot of things of managing.
That's right. I mean, and they quite frankly have less power than a city council, right? And city council races are nonpartisan. Unfortunately, it's only partisan because the state of Texas says thou shalt be partisan. But then we interject all this partisan
we just got
politics.
them to say the groundwater now shall be elected. So can we?
They are, but it's a nonpartisan race. They don't run on R's and I's.
So
and
we
D's.
have to go to Crichton.
It's just
Creighton?
like a
Creighton.
and say, hey man, can we change this county commissioner stuff? That's how that starts.
Well, the state legislature would certainly have to change it.
Yeah.
But get on that.
Okay. Well, the reason I wanted to ask that is because what's going on right now in the commissioner's court that seems a little different than what's going on, because I know they had an interesting meeting on Tuesday, right? Tuesdays.
Mm-hmm.
So was there anything interesting from that meeting, or anything that you kind of wanted to bring up? Or
Well, I mean, the biggest thing that came out of I wasn't there. I was out of town for work, but they do this great thing called record these things and put it online so you can watch
Public
them.
record, what?
So, I mean, I was out of town for business, but I watched it Tuesday night. And, I mean, the biggest thing I saw in there was obviously there was a discussion about the auditor's budget for the auditor's office, because in the previous...
They do what? What do the auditors do?
So the auditor is responsible for basically the fiscal accountability of how the county is spending money and how they're bringing money in, how they track money.
So there's an
right?
accountant.
It's an auditor.
So there's an accountant who does what you guys tell them to spend money on. They count it, and then they're like, "Hey, here's our report, auditor."
Well, the auditor is given their job, appointed.
It's a third party.
Well, the county auditor is appointed their position by the district judges. The panel, the board of district judges is the one that appoints the county auditor.
Okay.
Okay. And the district judges are the ones that actually set the county auditor's office's salaries. They create the entire budget. They approve the budget for the auditor's office, with the exception of the operations budget. That's the part of the budget
Phyllis
that the commissioner.
L. Martin.
Right.
Right. Am I finding this right? I'm on the website.
Correct.
I'm trying to navigate what's really going
That's
on
right.
here. Okay. So she's the current county auditor.
County auditor.
Okay.
That's correct. And if I recall correctly, I think they're appointed to 2-year terms. I think that's what it is.
I think you're
I
right.
think it's 2-year terms.
Sounds good to me.
And oftentimes they're just re-upped, right? I mean, so that's what happens with it. But at the end of the day, the commissioner's court controls the operational budget, and the board of district judges controls the rest of the county auditor's budget. And obviously, we know we just went through the budget cycle.
Yeah.
And in the previous commissioner's court, when the county created the budget officer's office, the goal that was put out there by some of the members of the commissioner's court was to reduce the auditor's budget by the amount that it costs to run the budget officer's office, because you're taking a lot of the responsibilities away from the auditor by the creation of this budget officer, which we now have. The truth is, it's not a dollar for dollar savings. So you can't really say, well, if it costs $300,000 here, then this should be a reduction of $300,000, because it's not apples to apples we're comparing here. But at the end of the day, there was some decisions made on the commissioner's court in that meeting 2 weeks ago, where they reduced the auditor's budget by, I think it was $234,000 or something like that.
So that's like operation costs?
Well, that was.
Or are they actually physically
Well, that's the
paying
point.
this
That was the
$200,000?
point of the discussion on Tuesday, was that the auditor's office operations budget is like $75,000.
Okay.
So for the commissioner's court to reduce it by $234,000, the board of district judges basically came in and said, we think, you're overstepping your bounds of authority, because we have control of the rest of that budget. You only control the operations budget. I mean, the reality of it is, what should have been done from the get-go is, if they had not gotten or received the budget for the auditor's office from the board of district judges, the most responsible thing they could have done was just adopted whatever the budget was from the previously approved budget, and then they could adjust the operations budget, that $75,000, as they saw according, because that's the amount they control, and then wait for the board of district judges to provide their budget, and then just amend it to whatever that number is.
This is going to sound silly, but when you say the judges, you're not talking about the county judges.
The board of district judges.
Yeah, so
we have district courts in the county.
So these are actual judges.
Yes, they are.
Okay. So that's like,
yeah, we have district courts here.
We have district courts
because
here.
like y'all's position isn't a judge.
Correct.
But you're talking about folks who are judges.
Correct.
Okay. That's where I kind of was like, what the hell is going on? So they're the ones that did that. So they're the ones that kind of control that side of
They
the
have
field.
they have control of appointing the auditor, and they have control of everything in the auditor's budget, with the exception of the operations portion, which is what the commissioner.
The overall budget, basically.
But the rest of the budget is what the district judges put forth and approve.
Okay.
Right. So once they approve the budget and they give it to the commissioner's court, the commissioner's court essentially just adopts it.
Yeah.
Because they can't change it. They don't have legal authority to change it.
But they still need a
Right.
signature.
Well, it has to be in the budget.
Yes, yeah.
That's what
still
I'm
need-
saying.
Okay.
But that approval of that particular line item, if you will, the board of district judges
That's
approves
really
that.
weird.
The county just has to deal with it.
That's weird.
So, but this is what's trying to keep independence. I mean, the whole idea behind this is that there's independence from the auditor's office and what the county does.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the truth is, the auditor's office should be able to and should certainly have the ability to identify and call out inconsistencies
no-nos.
and hold people accountable. That's the whole point of it.
Okay. And now, is this like this kind of issue? Like they did reports in the paper and stuff. Overall, is this something that's more of just a nitpick, or is this more of like, hey, we got to actually look at this because this could potentially be an issue in the future or something like that?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think at the end of the day, legally, you're authorized to do certain things.
Yeah.
And if you're overstepping your bounds, then somebody should
So this is reintroducing the
let
line
you
in the
know
sand.
that you're overstepping your bounds, right?
Okay.
And it wasn't like anyone was rude. I mean, everyone was cordial about it. It's just a point of order, if you will.
Okay.
That you have this authority,
See,
and
that's sexy.
if you're doing
so?
this, you're overstepping your
Yeah.
bounds, and we need to keep that line very clear so we can keep this independence between the two entities.
Sounds
I can't imagine that's like what your day-to-day job is. That sounds horrible, but that's just me. Are you looking forward
I
to
don't
do
think-
if you?
I don't
win?
think it's horrible.
I mean,
I look at this job as, this job has, if executed the right way, and people understand that in executing it the right way, I mean, this job has a significant impact on
oh, I
people's
know, but
lives,
it's just kind of like,
right?
you get that phone call, hey, you're not allowed to be doing that. And like,
And-
oh, I didn't know that. Sorry, lesson learned. Next.
Well, when we come back, I want to talk about some of the personal aspects of running for the position.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you're listening to Mornings with Lone Star, IRLoneStar.com with Jay Stillberg for County Judge in the studio, folks. So we'll be right back.
Conroe Coffee is a local coffee shop located in the heart of downtown Conroe at 206 North Main Street, Conroe, Texas. Conroe Coffee serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, along with other treats and coffee. For more information regarding store hours and delivery in downtown Conroe, Conroe Coffee is on Facebook or by telephone at 936-266-7632.
We would like to thank Conroe Coffee for being a supporter of Lone Star Community Radio and our morning sponsor with Mornings with Lone Star.
Business office cleaning is available in the Montgomery County area from Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, with scheduled cleaning services such as floor care, window care, trash collection, restroom disinfection, and stair and elevator cleaning. Clean Sweep can service a business one time or on a regular schedule, with daily, weekly, and monthly options. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning can be found online at cleansweepofficecleaning.com or by calling 832-689-7996. Clean Sweep Office Cleaning. Take back your time and let us make your office shine. Mornings with Lone Star is sponsored by Clean Sweep Office Cleaning.
For those of you who like your partners, your gumbo, and your music salty, well, we're here to help with the music. Julian Shea here, host of Lone Star Country Nights Thursday, your weekly dose of roots and Americana and all the music that makes this part of the country special. We stir in Western swing, honky-tonk, Zydeco, Texas blues, outlaw country, and put a pinch of red dirt, and then we smoke it over a slow fire. Then listen to the results Thursday nights on Conroe's 104.5 and 106.1 and worldwide at irlonestar.com.
Don't miss Lone Star Community Radio on TV and YouTube. Our talk show and music shows are featured on Our City TV, Suddenlink Channel 12, and have their own YouTube channel. Make sure to subscribe to keep up with posted shows and comment on them below the video.
Lone Star Boxer Rescue is a nonprofit organization serving Montgomery County and surrounding areas, dedicated to the health and well-being of the boxer breed. Lone Star Boxer Rescue is run and managed 100% by volunteers since 1999. Our main objective is to rescue, rehabilitate, and rehome boxers that come to us from many sources, including local animal shelters, owner surrenders, and strays. For more information about Lone Star Boxer Rescue, visit our website at lsbr.org.
It is 10:40 on the dot, 79 degrees outside. On Mornings with Lone Star, where Dick is still playing the music I chose today, because that's the kind of guy that I am. With my Svengali-like powers, I convinced Dick to keep playing. As I ask you, where were you September 13th, 1999? I know where I threw this like big honking party, and all my nerd friends showed up, and it was quite the geek blowout. I'm just saying, because we made it. We made it through the moon breaking away. You gotta watch. I'm gonna send you the DVD.
How long did that show last?
Oh, at least 2 seasons.
Oh man, sounds like a great show.
Oh please, it almost matched Star Trek in number of episodes. So there you go. I'm gonna turn you on to it. You're gonna like it. You are gonna like it very much. Anyhow, so we still have Jay Stillberg in the studio. Jay Stillberg, candidate for Montgomery County judge. So we won't be able to marry you guys, but the position does oversee. Jay,
you do have the ability to conduct marriages as the county judge.
Because like a boat captain kind of thing. Awesome. Well, shut my mouth and call me Shorty. Now I learned something new.
What do you mean you're allowed to do that? Like I could go take my fiance and you marry us, or you give us the piece of paper?
I can preside. The county judge can preside over a marriage ceremony.
Okay.
They can perform a marriage. They have authority.
There you go. When you finally cave in to all the grief that goes into planning a wedding and just elope like I did for number 4, best idea ever, by the way, just get hold of Jay.
All right. Well, you asked a question last segment.
Jay, so
let's move on.
The times you've been on, we talked a lot about your Jay's like, why do I come here week after week? We talked a lot about your qualifications and stuff and your plans for county judge, but I want to get a little bit more personal because, as Dick pointed out, county judge, not sexy.
Yep.
There's not, it's like when you're a nonprofit for certain diseases, you can always raise money for starving children in Africa because you have the big wide-eyed kid. But when it's, Turner syndrome or something, it's not sexy.
Right.
And there are no, what's the word I'm looking for? Buzzwords. There's no erect a wall, build a bridge, something like that. If I was running, this is a long roundabout way to get to what I'm trying to say. If I was running, I would almost have to fight off the urge to dumb it down to reach voters, because a lot of people don't know what a county judge does, has the authority for. So in your campaigning, what are you coming across? How are you trying to reach people to convince them? Because you say it's a partisan race, but shouldn't be, I guess. So instead of a Republican versus a Democrat, to have people think it's 2 people running for a position, and it's more an idea thing. Day-to-day campaigning, what are you coming across? How are you trying to reach people?
Yeah, so obviously day-to-day campaigning, I mean, we set up town halls on a consistent basis throughout the county, and we post those events, and anyone's invited to come to those events. Obviously, if organizations like tonight, the NAACP is holding a candidate forum at the Lone Star College on 242. So obviously things like that we're invited to, we certainly go. We want to give every citizen of the county an opportunity to talk to me and ask me questions and hear my, what I want to do for the county government. We go door knocking. We're going to start again door knocking here very soon because we kind of took the summer off because it gets a little hot and we don't need anybody passing out going door knocking. So that will come back into play, doing canvassing of neighborhoods. And, we try to do this in a big effort with, the County Democratic Party and the other candidates so we can cover as much ground as we possibly can. Obviously, I do things like this. I come on here so I can, people can ask me questions and I can hopefully answer them for them. And obviously, when we go around and speak to people, the biggest question we get asked is they don't know what the county judge does. So it's good that we talk about that, right? And you talk about, dumb it down, if you will. I think that's very important, right? So, some people like to hear the layman's version of what you're doing. And quite frankly, it may have nothing to do with their education level or anything. They're just like, can you dumb it down for me? So yeah, you want to make it as simple to understand as possible. And then there's some folks, the engineer types, if you will, they want to know the nitty gritty and give me the big winded, dictionary terms.
Right.
So you have to have the ability to do both. But at the end of the day, I try to say to people, like, this job is the chief executive officer of the county. It's an administrative job. You are responsible for administering the business of the county. Making sure the county departments do their job efficiently for the best cost. You keep the budget as tight as you can possibly keep it, and keep the county moving forward. We want to recruit businesses to come in and keep growing our county and growing the economy. Our population's going to keep growing. Nothing's going to stop that. So, so I want people to understand what the job is, right? Because everyone does think like, ooh, can you get me out of that traffic ticket? And I'm like, it's not that kind of judge. So
dang it.
So it's important to be able to do that, right? And I just try to relate to people. I'm a taxpayer in the county. I'm just a person too, right? I live in a house with my family and my dogs, and I care about the same things, right? So I just try to convey that message to folks, and I try to get out there as much as I can and talk to as many people as I can to get that message out.
Nowadays, it seems that party lines equal battle lines.
Mm-hmm.
And I myself never voted straight ticket in my entire existence. I don't see that.
Mm-hmm.
I go for the individual, and I don't think someone's party affiliation is the sum total of their existence.
I agree.
But in certain areas, and I'll throw Montgomery County in there,
Sure.
Historically, the party lines are drawn, battle lines are drawn. How are you informing them, this really isn't a partisan issue. This is an issues issue.
Yeah, that's a great question, because it's certainly true in Montgomery County. Obviously, the whole R versus D thing is very prevalent here, even though there haven't been a whole lot of Ds that have run in the last 30 years.
Right.
Right. So this is a whole new experience for a lot of people in this county to actually have contested races in the general election. But, and of course, we get this identity politics, which is infesting our politics on all levels today, where it's you're a Democrat. This is the stuff I hear, by the way. You're a Democrat. You're evil. You're for open borders. You want to take our guns away. You name it, the typical types of rhetoric that we hear. Mm-hmm. And, I just try to tell people, look, this job has nothing to do with that. As a county judge, I will never take a vote on taking your gun away. By the way, I have a license to carry in the state of Texas, and I would never want to take your guns away because I'd never take my own guns away. But at the end of the day, I try to say, look, that's not what this job's about. I get the differences between Republicans and Democrats. Some of the arguments I agree with, some I don't, obviously. But at the end of the day, this job of county judge has nothing to do with that. This job is about transparent, accountable spending of your tax dollars. That's it. We can't make laws, so we're not legislators, so we can't change the laws on those issues that divide Democrats and Republicans. So at the end of the day, which everybody has this concern in this county, if you think that there's a lack of transparency, a lack of accountability, a lack of integrity and ethics going on in our county government, then the way you change it is you vote for people that have spent their whole life living pillars of integrity, ethics in the military and in my civilian career. And that's how you do it. You never change it if you just keep voting for the status quo, right? And so the message I try to send people is this, and that's why I say it's a partisan race about nonpartisan politics. I am a fiscal conservative Democrat. That's what I am. And people say, well, no such thing exists. Well, I challenge you that you're wrong, because I do exist. I'm here. Touch me, Skippy. Yep, I'm human.
It didn't burn.
I'm human. So, and that's my message, right? We're going to disagree on things in politics because I'm a Democrat and you're a Republican. Absolutely. But in this job, if you're worried about how your tax dollars are being spent, then, I encourage you to come to one of my events and listen to what I have to say, because I think you might like it.
So you're going to be today?
Today, the NAACP has a forum this evening at the Lone Star College. I think it starts at either 7 or 7:30. I think it's 7:30. I think it's B102 is the room. I think that's what it's in. And then again, actually, on Saturday morning, I think it's at 9:30, there's another open forum with all the candidates, at least the Democratic ones I know are going to be there. And that's also being put on at Lone Star College at 9:30. And I think that's actually in the theater building. But
and folks, you can learn more about Jay online at jaystittleburg.com.
And spell it out for us.
That's JAYSTITTLEBURG.com. Jay Stittleburg for Montgomery County Judge. And pretty much everything you're talking about right here is all on their website. I always love going to political websites because it's so hard to make it sound unique, because it's like it's going to be like, yeah, we want to work for you. Duh. Like
this is why it's so important to go see and meet your candidates and talk to their face and ask them questions.
I'm the guy when I
so
go,
important.
When I go early vote, I just stand there and wait to see which candidates approach me and give them all due attention. I like to take my daughter along too, since she was way young for that very purpose too. See how they treated her. See how they, even if it's board trustee number 12.
Yep.
I'm asking what's your platform. So
important.
don't just vote educated.
And you're going to be coming back in the studio in a couple weeks.
I will.
So, folks, if you have a question between now and then, you know what to do. All you got to do is go to Facebook and look us up, Mornings Lone Star.
And amazingly, early voting starts in 39 days.
That's too
less than Lent.
That's too far out to talk about.
That's less than Lent. Think about it.
So, but yeah, so you're listening to Mornings Lone Star. It's 10:51. We got to be wrapping up today's show
already.
So we want to say yes already. Jeez. We got to say a special thanks to the folks from the city of Conroe coming in talking about the Emergency Preparedness Fair happening September 18th from 3 to 7. The Conroe Activity Center. It's free to the public. They basically want to sign you up at 911 or Smart 911 and things like that. And don't forget, today, starting at 11 a.m., which is here in like 8 minutes, is the 6th annual Heroes Luncheon over there at Questco. And for first responders, if you're listening, you can get free food and entertainment and all that kind of stuff. That's going to be from 11 to 3 p.m. So more information, call Emily 936-521-5714. And Jay, thanks for coming in and answering
pleasure.
all our questions.
Always good to be here.
I look forward to seeing you again and learning more about what else we can do to improve this county from the county commissioner's perspective. You are listening to Lone Star Community Radio. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Today's show is brought to you by Conroe Coffee, Clean Sweep Office Cleaning, and Jay Stittleburg for County Judge. Special thanks to those guys and for supporting the show. And just give me bye-bye.
Bye, Dick.
Bye-bye.
Miss you. Bye-bye.